Okay guys, welcome to another live TMD show. Big shout out going out to the guys that are watching on YouTube. This is going live on Facebook Live. Big shout out going out to Glenn, Scott, Mark, Wayne, George, Creed in the building. What's up? We're going to be doing some decaling today guys, and I'd just like to, before I start, wish everybody on my channel a happy new year, and I hope the year's going good so far. So when you get these Ma.k kits, guys, they come with one of these, they're called like camo cards, decaling cards. And a lot of the kits have these in these cards. They should do. Wave don't have these, I don't think. They just have instructions. But with... Oh no, sorry. What am I talking about? This is a Wave kit. Duh. But some kits don't have these in. But what it is, it has different kind of camo schemes for the different chapters of the SAFS. There's different divisions, and my Japanese is terrible, so I can't read any of that. But there are 5 camo schemes on here. This section here, as you can see, says decal. So you've got your main standard decals with these add-ons, and the add-ons are basically, what's up David, these add-ons are like the fish, the tongue, these 2 dots, the shark's teeth, the eyes, which is quite famous for the Co 6 decal set pattern. You got some skull and crossbones. Good thing about Ma.k kits is that even though you make a mistake and you maybe might crack one of these decals or whatever, you've got plenty of opportunity to swap these out and use something else. And if you are into Ma.k kits, you'll tend to find that you'll have quite a lot of these decals spare, which is a really good thing. A lot of model kit companies don't have, you never have spares really, you tend to use all of them. So there are like 5 different variants that you can use with a set kind of designs of decals. So I'm going to be choosing the Japanese one, and this is my kit. I have top coated this kit, by the way, as you've seen in my last video. This is a kind of a video montage. And to make life easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to disassemble the canopy off here, like so. Now, I think I forgot who. Oh, Jason, yeah, Jason. Big up, Jason Fontella, telling me that he snapped the armature here for the SAFS suit. I've learnt my mistakes with this, and when you do build this kit or any of the SAFS kits, you have to be really careful with that joint there. One issue is that if you paint, I don't know how to describe this, but if you see here, there's that slots in and it kind of like blends into the seat. What you want to do is you don't want to prime the section here. Mask it off or sand it off if you did prime it, because you'll have problems fitting that in. It's a really tight fit. Just to be aware, and because it's so tight and you're trying to put that in, what will happen is you might snap it. So just be real careful with that. So I'm going to put him to the side. And we're going to start off with this, I think the kanji for that, actually, I think that means open, I believe. I know that kanji there, those two mean gate. And that's kanji they use for open, close, and some other ones. And I think this goes to this colour scheme here. Obviously, I haven't done that same colour scheme, but I'm going to be using the same decals. Now, decaling, I like to try and work from the top and work from the bottom. The reason is that if you work from the top, you can actually hold the bottom of the kit whilst you're decaling. If you start from the bottom and hold stuff, you'll tend to find that decals will stick to your fingers, they get readjusted, and can be a pain in the bottom. So we're going to start off with this candy sign. If you look here, it's central, and it's best to really get a sharp knife or replace the blades on your cutter. Do like so. I know I need that one. I know I need this 4K one because that will go at the back of this kit, situated about here. And I think the 4K symbol's been put on here, if you can see. If you can see that, guys. There, it's just situated on the top left side of the back canopy, so I'm gonna need that one. Oh shit, and I've dropped it. You bellend. Now with decaling, I'm gonna arrange that like so. I'm going to look for the decals that go on this front section, and as you can see here, I need number 21. 21. So yeah, back to modeling this year, guys. I'm going to be busy as hell. Probably work will interfere with my model bills. So I won't have much time this year, sadly. And it's going to be exciting to see what comes out. 11. This is kind of interesting because these decals, you normally with Ma.k kits get an option of white or black, and these ones here seem to be all white. All white sand. So what have I been doing since my last YouTube video? Not much really, guys. Been just relaxing really, just getting prepared for the mad onslaught of going back to work. Now I do have 2 job interviews tomorrow. Shall I go with a white? I should do, shouldn't I? No, there's no black. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with all whites on here. So I'll be busy tomorrow. Go back to work on the 9th. That's a good thing with working in schools, because you get long holidays, which obviously I enjoy. I think that's about it for the front canopy. Oh, canopy, I say, canopy. Now what you're going to need is, you guys out there know what's up, sharp knife, mark setter. You can use, I forgot what the bloody name is now. Micro set, whatever it's called. It's a bit expensive. Mark softener, cotton bud, a paper towel, and some tweezers. I tend to use these flat tweezers, which are a bit dirty, so I need to give those a bit of a clean. And also I need to bend these down a bit because I've been using these for other stuff. So that's what I like to do. Just if you find that your tweezers don't work properly, just bend the ends slightly. Just get your cutting mat and bend them in. I do have like these tweezers as well. These are very fine ones. I think they're by Tamiya. Not Tamiya, I think no, it's another brand. Not cheap. Anyway, your water, you can add lukewarm water, don't use boiling. And I'm gonna be a good boy this year, and I'm gonna do one by one. Some people tend to get a bit, what's the word, in a bit of a rush with decaling, and people like put 5 decals in there. You shouldn't really do that, guys.
ひらひら揺れているキューピー肩で息をするたびまた一つ恋が生まれる翼の影が動く雲に隠れてひらひら踊ってるキューピー明日までには彼のハート私のものに全てが欲しいのよレストに空の彼方吹いてくる風ねそうよ初めて恋してるそんなときめき感じてる数えきれないほど恋をした私だけど初めて恋してるそんなときめき感じてる恋するハート降り立つ天使なのキューピー額への熱いキスでまた一つ恋が生まれる翼は気まぐれなの彼の窓へと月明かり入れてよキューピー笑顔に嘆きすこの愛と一緒にして全てが欲しいのよレストに空の彼方吹いてくる風ねそうよ初めて恋してるそんなときめき感じてる数えきれないほど恋をした私だけど初めて
So this bit's a bit ends a bit thicker, so there you go, guys. Done. Just have a glance at it from a distance. Sometimes when you're doing decals you can get like caught up in the moment when you're going up close, but it's good to just look at it from a distance, and I'm pretty happy with that, man. You know what I mean? Oh, I have ballsed up here a little bit. Oh shit. I've ballsed up. There should have been, oh no I haven't. There's that decal. There you go. Got one more decal to do. It doesn't matter too much if you put the wrong one on anyway. These decals, and it's a Ma.k kit, you know, people kind of free-willed with it all. So decaling, I've got one decal to add to this side panel. Oh, it's reloaded. Good. Take this decal. Big. Oh, what's up, Frank? What's up, Bill? This one should go on there like that. Again, there's quite a lot of water on there. Can you see that big bubble? So we're just going to go in, take that off, dry out your cotton bud. Put a bit more on, it's not moving. There you go. Should be left with that, guys. So be careful where you're touching your model kit, by the way. You don't want to. I should have done that one second to that. Again, remember I told you guys about working from the top and then to the bottom. It's better to touch this or the kit as less as possible. I think we're going to be going there with it. Again, I'm going to hold down and then I'm going to go in the middle and then, ooh, mamma mia, here I go again. See, it's bending there. Got to be careful of that. Just softly go out, pan out, hold it, go back. Check if there's no air bubbles and just gently hover above like that. Very softly. You can use a brush or a cotton bud. You don't have to buy expensive cotton buds either. These are from like a pound shop or Daiso or wherever you're at, you know. Let's pan it across there. And that's done, guys. So that's what it looks like. Again, you can add more decals to it. But these are the standard kind of location spots for this kit. So you want to let that dry. Put this somewhere safe. What's up, Sam? And we've got the main frame here. Looks very glossy, by the way. When I do, it's kind of, I don't know what you guys think watching live, but I know that me personally, I like to gloss things. I just think that when you gloss the kit, it makes the decaling process a lot easier. But I do know some people that actually just matte coat it, or even don't put any top coat on it at all. The only thing with my process is that I will have to top coat this again so the decals are set, and that the decals kind of like dissolve and give it another layer, so it doesn't look like the decal is actually, how can I say this, like embossed. Is that a good word? Embossed. So we're going into the live chat right now. Sen's online. What's up, bro? It's Sunday. Happy Sunday, bro. Modeling Sunday. Randall Scott still up at like early hours in the morning. God, man, your wife must be a champion putting up with you, man. You don't sleep. Anyway, going back to what I'm doing here, this 4K one. This situated at the back. Now this one's a bit tricky because it comes off at an angle. I've got to decide how I'm going to do this. It comes off at an angle slightly. It's a bit tricky because I've got the arms on there. Let me. Might be easy me taking these arms off actually. Watch this, I'm gonna break something in a minute. Oh, break, come on. Come on, come on, come to Papa. There you go. It's probably better to do, Probably better to do the decals individually anyway. Come on. There you go. So I'm going to put this at an angle up here. I might need some more set there. So to you guys that are watching me live on Facebook Live, how do you put decals on? What's your technique? Share a like, guys. So this decal actually, see, if it doesn't move, don't worry, just add more setter there and douse that in there. That's what I do, I make it run like that. So I want to have this situated at an angle, so it's a bit like that, I think. Is that right, guys? What do you think, Sam? Looking at the picture art, it curves off at an angle slightly. I mean, I could run it straight along here, along that line, if I wanted to. I think I might do that. I'll have it on, sat on top of that yellow line there. Okay, man, take care, Mark. So again, I'm just going to hold the decal with my thumb, not too hard, and then push out like that, very softly to the side. Very softly. And then push out from the middle. Get all those air pockets out. Get the excess setter out there as well. Once you got most of it out, you can actually do the turning method. This is just twisting. Hold down, twist. Hold down, twist.
してるそんなときめき感じてる
Alright guys, so we've finished up. I didn't want to keep you guys watching my video all the way through while I was doing it. Just show you what's happened so far. I've added some other decals that were on the decaling sheet, and basically I've kind of done my own thing. Let me turn the sound down on here. I've added the basic ones at the back, and there's one at the back here as well. I did have some little bit of an issue with putting this decal on here. There's a little bit of a mark. It cracked a little bit. So I might have to just add some either rust or some battle damage. The front of it looks like that. This I've added the skull and crossbones. Again, I had some problems with this decaling section there. I've added the number 8 to this kit. The arms are all done. For some reason there doesn't seem to be much decals on the arms, but I was informed by my friend Sen that basically even Ko Yokoyama adds his own decals to kits that are like off key a little bit, and I did the bottom ones down there. So it was broken. Sorry, SAFS, you're a little bit hurt. I added this decal here to add to this one, which was a little bit kind of to the right, so I thought to balance that out I just had some text warnings. And so what's next, guys? The process is that we are going to do another top coat on here. Why? Because it will protect the decals, it will level it all out, and that's it really. So after we finish that, guys, we're going to get into the weathering, the fun part of the build. It's my favourite section of building these Ma.k kits. So I shall top coat and I will be back with another video. Weathering, finally. Going to be showing you guys something new that I'm going to try out. But I'm going to make a sponge dabbing, weathering, chipping, sticky, thingy, wiki, bicky. What are you going to need? Dish sponge. Get these at a pound shop or Daiso or wherever. I'm sure you've seen these before, guys. Well, I hope so. And you're going to need some clips. I'm sure some of you guys got these. If not, you can make your own. And here's one I made earlier. This is a total experimental video. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but let's basically get your sponge, guys. Basically what this is probably a tool that you can use so you don't have to touch your model as much, if that makes any sense. What I'm just going to do is just cut off, be careful your fingers, some sponge. And because Ma.k kits are like 1/20 scale, you're looking to get something around about that size. So I am going to cut this one into two, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment by using 3 different sponges to see if I can get different effects out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a rough piece like that off your sponge, and then I'm going to roll it up like that. Like I said, it's the first time I've done this, so bear with me. So you've got your dabbing tool there, and then what I'm going to do is just pick your fingertips bits off the sponge to give you some different contour. Like I said, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. It might be a total flop, but can you see there? I've got like 2 different diameters there. It's quite small. I'm not sure if I might make a real thin one. I'm going to make a real thin one. Roll that up. Just attach it like this. And I'm just gonna again pick off any bits off at the edges there. I hope this works. I'm kind of excited on this little thing. Discard that. And then you should have something like this. I mean, you could make more if you want. You could just use one, but I wanted like some different sizes. As you can see, they're all different there. I'm gonna get our model. I've actually let this, put this camera up guys a little bit for you. I've actually let this dry for a few days. I wanted the gloss to be fully dried. Now this is what I'm going to talk about weathering and how some people get confused about it or have kind of questions to be answered about what weathering is. Okay, so this is a suit. It's a space suit. And what environment are you going to put this space suit in? So this is a land suit. So I would presume it would be in operational order from day one, coming out of a loading dock, a loading bay, a ship or whatever. And you don't know, the pilot might be very clumsy. The pilot might be hitting the sides of the loader or whatever. So what kind of damage would you get? You might get damage around the hands. This guy might be loading up one of the missiles, hits the door frame coming out. You're gonna get damage around the side armor plating. Might be reversing back, might be walking backwards, might be doing his shoelaces for all I know, I don't know. So you might have damage on the back, you might have damage on the sides again. Put this suit into an actual combat situation like a tank. A tank gets hit, it hits surfaces, concrete, metal, wood, and other different surfaces or things like that. Where would you get damage? What environment are you going to put this suit in? Is it going to be in heavy combat? Then if so, you're going to be using more weathering, chipping. Is it, how old is the suit? Is it just been out on combat for a week, 2 weeks, a month, years? Then if we're talking years, then over time it's obviously gonna have rust, it's gonna have scratches, damage, and all the rest of it. Now to make my life easier, and this is what I've done with most of my models, is that even though I watch people like Ma.k and other guys on the internet or books, when I tend to do what paintbrush chipping, I'm just never ever happy with it for some reason, and I don't know why. And Ma.k makes it look so bloody easy, and that's why I tend to use sponging more. There are some people out there that like to do very diagonal scratches and damage like that. I've tried it and just I'm never happy with what I do, so I just keep it simple. Again, this is your model kit, you can do whatever you want to it, there's no right or wrong way. So going back to damage, pilot getting in and out of the suit, again you might have some damage around the sides, you might have damage around here. There might have been mechanics working on it, they might have dropped a spanner somewhere, you know. Just think about the environment and what situations, conditions that this suit would have been in. And I won't talk about engine streaking or oil leaks or anything like that just yet. I'll do that in the filtering stage. But again, decide beforehand on the situation of this SAFS kit. It totally depends on how you want to weather this kit. It is a sci-fi kit, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have the aesthetics or kind of theory of a tank or a plane or anything like that. Sorry guys, I had to interrupt the video. The reason is, and I'll talk through this as I'm doing the old weathering thing, but yeah, going back to this whole like weather condition thing, yeah, so I mean, there's loads of different weathering techniques out there. Like I said, putting the suit in conditions of, like, if it's very, very old, you're gonna get rust and stuff like that, and moss. You're gonna have a lot of color work in there to make it kind of aesthetically pleasing for the viewer or people that are like judging your model kits. So let's begin. Now, like I said, this is totally something that I've never done before. I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not. I think the thing is with weathering and people trying to do it is the fact that people get scared about it. And don't be scared, just don't overdo it. That's all. That's the basic rule of weathering. I'm going to be using Army Paint, Necromancer Cloak and Matte Black. The reason is sometimes it can not be dark enough, so give your paints a good old shake. And I think that this grey might work actually. So what I'm going to do is start off. I'm going to put some on a paper towel. That's one thing you'll definitely need for this. Put the grey on there. There's a paper towel, and I'm gonna start off. I don't know what to start off with. Do I start off with this medium? I'm gonna start off with the medium one. I'm gonna dip it in like that. This is a masterclass, so we're on Facebook Live as well at the moment, so I want to share my work. So basically what I've got here is, as you can see on this paper towel, is you know, that effect there. It kind of works. Let me add some more paint in there. Put in the black. Dab it in like that a little bit. Just take any excess off. Like I said, you don't want too much paint on it. So what I'm going to start off with, guys, is this side, and I'm going to go in here, just dabbing. Around the edge of here as well. Very lightly. Right, so this suit here has got some chipping on the arms. I'm going to start off on this side. The reason is because it's right-handed. The left side, sorry, the right side of this arm would obviously pick up damage the most. I'm just going to do it sporadically. Is that a good word? Sporadically, yeah. Go underneath. Like I said, we've got to add rust to this as well, so leave that now. Move on. I'm gonna work on the right leg on the right side. Add a bit there. I'm gonna add some to the foot. On the edges. That's the golden rule about weathering, is hitting those the edges. Might need to position that up a little bit. On there, on this side. The bottom of the feet as well. What's up, darling? Go on the edges, just dabbing. That'd be better if I actually take that. Ooh, I've lost a piece. Not to fear. If you ever do build this kit, by the way, these side bits are a bit of an issue actually. Not too keen on it. Bottom of there. you can always get like the first kind of sections done. If you want to add more or make stuff bigger, you can always go back in. But I'm kind of finding that this size that I've used for this weathering thing is pretty good. Oh, I see these bits that are really bugging me. They keep falling off. Right, so the front section, I'm going to add some chipping. I don't want to overdo it too much. So this side panel would probably, in theory, you know, rub against the sides. So right, it's very delicate what I'm doing right now. Go back in with some more paint. I'm gonna add the grey. Careful not to get it on the bloody model. Go in the black. Again, dab off any excess. Work on this side. The good thing about this is the acrylic paint kind of like dries off pretty quickly, so it's pretty good. Weathering is so much fun. I really enjoy it. It's probably my favorite thing about model kit building and stuff like that is the weathering side of it all. And if you're into machining Krieger, weathering plays a big factor in this genre, because these suits are very like grimy and rusty and weathered, stuff like that. Knee pads probably around the sides. It's good as well with this tool because you can get into some, it's easy to get into the nooks and crannies. So I'm just going around this kit very methodically. Around the edges. Golden rule, guys. And it's starting to come together a little bit. Let's do the back bits. Again, bottom edges. Very important to do the bottom edges. Obviously, you know, you'd get a lot of damage around there, around the edges of the legs. So I'll tell you guys on YouTube what had happened last night with me and talk about, you know, Japan and stuff like that. Let me just get that there. You might have some damage around sides there. Again, around the edges. Dabs here and there. Right, so what I'm going to be talking about, where's my other bloody stick thing. Alright guys, I just off camera and off this edit, I basically was just cleaning some of the chipping up. I wasn't happy with some of it, so you can remove it. I mean, I just got a bit of water, a bit of human spit, and just vigorously took off some of the chipping I wasn't happy with. I mean, I'm not too happy with it now, but I mean, it is what it is. I suppose it all comes together once you start adding filters and stuff. So just before, I'm just gonna chip this up a little bit. It's a tiny bit. It's in major. Round the edges. Right, so that's all I need to do for that. We're gonna get into this rusting chipping, which is by Ma.k 044 chipping solution. This is the solution acrylic for chipping. You guys on Facebook. What I'm gonna do is I have basically swapped out the other end of that sponge. I'm gonna give this a good shake. For some reason, when I bought this acrylic was really thick, and now it's kind of gone thin. I don't know why, but I'm gonna load that up there a little bit. Put some paint on there, douse it. So this is gonna be rust chipping. Rust chipping. So you wanna pick out some areas of rust that you're gonna do some streaks with. And I'm gonna target this one here, like so. I'm gonna target that edge one, like so. I'm gonna target a rust spot maybe on the edge of there. You can see that, guys. I'm gonna target one on the corner of here. I'm not gonna go insane with the rust here. I don't want too much rust, but this one, the yellow. Actually, the rusting looks very nice on clear colors like yellows and stuff like that, you know. Maybe add a bit of rust on the top of here. Add a bit of rust. Edge of there. Corner of here. Corner in there. Oh, the little one's back from the play school. Pick out a rust spot there. Mama. Little May's back, my daughter's back. We should have a good day at Kinder. Put a bit there. Put a bit on. Like I said, I'm not adding crap loads of rust on here. Maybe near the engine. Around here. At the bottom. Just kind of like balance it out a little bit. Oh, that's my daughter. What's up, May? She's going nuts. And that's about it, guys. I'm not adding crap loads on there. Keeping it quite quite minimal. Less is always more. Push that back a little bit. And there she is. Maybe working there a little bit. Like I said, just take your time. Add bits here and there that you think maybe you need it more. And this is just how I do it. You guys might have a different way. So, like I said, there's no right or wrong way. But basically, these are the basics. Hi. Yeah. So, anyway, we'll take it from there. And this chipping solution, what am I about? This chipping paint really works well with matte kits because it is armor, and Mig Jimenez swears by it, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of happy with that, man. I say it's not OTT. Once you get all the enamels, washes on there, it'll look spanky dookie. So we'll leave it at that, guys, and next video will be showing you how I do filters and stuff like that. So I'll be back in a bit. Hello. What's up, guys? TMD back in the building. It's been a long bloody while since I've been on, guys. Just manic, man. Just kids and work and everything else that's taking a lot of my time. Oh, and PlayStation 4 as well. I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my washes on my Krieger kits. As you've probably seen in most of my videos, maybe I use these Mr. Hobby weathering colour inks or washes, however you want to call it, and the solvent as well. It's been quite a long while since I've worked on this, and I really want to get this kit cracked out and finished and get onto the Brickworks figure to put in there, and obviously add the diorama and stuff like that. I do apologize to you guys. Basically what happened was, and as I'm talking about this, I'm going to add some thinner all over the kit. This is from my dirty wash, my sewage water that I've had this bottle for about 2 years now, and it's kind of good because I'm going to start from the top, by the way, guys. I'm just like you would in like doing a watercolor picture. I'm just putting this used thinner on to cover all of this. Yeah, as I was saying before, I actually accidentally deleted one of my videos on this Ma.k kit. It was the decaling video. So I'm gonna play this first in the upload, just for you guys that have already seen the decaling video, and just be careful because I've also done chipping and stuff like that, weathering. Obviously you do that first before you do your washes, but as you can see already, the colours are starting to diffuse a little bit. Just gonna go around there. Sometimes you can go a little bit too heavy with the washes, so I'm just putting this on to give it a very light effect. Obviously I'm going to be going in a little bit more with some browns and obviously black to make things pop out a little bit. I've also got the inners as well, give that a bit of a wash. I'm very liberal at the moment here inside the cockpit canopy. Ooh la 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 la. These little side bits are really annoying. I don't like how they're fitted. I'll leave that vertical like that. Actually, that's probably a better idea because I can get underneath there a bit better. The back of the engine. I've got all the front of here. Like I said, it's just like you would do a wash on a watercolor painting. You just wettening the surface. So when I do go in with color or the inks, it can easily be put on. And actually it's quite subtle. So what's good about those inks is you can mix it down to whatever strength you want. Go in there a little bit. Right. So what I'm going to do is probably going to go in with this dark brown. I'm going to get a thinner brush actually. You might want to let this dry out a little bit, but actually I'm going to go in with the black. You want to give it a bit of a good shake. Some of these do have ball bearings in there. Nearly knocked that over, not a good start. And we're just going to go in with the black capillary action. Pick out all your recesses. I'm going to get the little grooves and bits like that, so go around the edges there a little bit. Obviously the power glove. So yeah, I've been fairly busy, guys, with life and stuff like that. In terms of what's come out since my last few uploads, obviously there's been a lot of hype around these new Star Destroyers that are coming out by Bandai in summer. Very exciting for you Star Wars fans. As you can see, there's a grill plate here. I'm just going in with the black there. Going in with the arms. Like I said, if you think that some bits of your washing are too thick, you can always go in with your thinners. So don't fret, obviously I'm going to put some black in there, make those silver bits pop out. Just check if everything is being seen on camera. Yeah, it is. So let me work on this side a little bit. Like I said, I'm just mapping out. I can always erase or take out bits that I feel are a bit heavy. You can just use a cotton bud or something like that. So let me go around here. Got like these little details here. Yeah, and I've been getting some of the new Ma.k kits. The Mega Me device goals. I honestly, guys, haven't been on the bench that much. I've spent a bit of time with my kids. They're a bloody handful, man, I'll tell you that for now. Spending time with my wife. And the weather over here is getting a little bit better. It's kind of a bit lonesome in here over the winter time. It's a bit cold. So I'm debating something on this. What I'm doing right now is, if I get all these blacks in, I might do a matte top coat on here. Just to lock in the black bits. And it's good to have it this on a gloss when you're doing this, because you can just like move the wash around a little bit more. I don't know what how you guys do your washes, but so I want to make this red pop out. I mean, this red pipe pop out, and obviously I don't want it like clean red like that. You'd obviously get grime being stuck around there. And obviously I'll be doing rust as well. Pick those little bits out there. Happy trees, happy trees. Pop that out a little bit. Like I said, it's I can always thin that out a little bit. Obviously you want a black on silver, but I'm just giving this real heavy shading. And just have fun with it, guys. If you are going to be doing one of these kits, or if you do washes, it's really therapeutic. And like I said, like with Bob Rust, happy accidents. That's what happens a lot when you're doing this, man. I'm gonna make that engine back section pop out a little bit. You might even sorry, you might even have to go back in with the black. Obviously with the engine part you're going to get a lot of soot or oil, grease. You can use a bit of tissue as well If you've got tissue handy, you can see that black there. I'm just gonna thin that out a little bit on the sides. It's very grimy. And just take your time, just work your way around. Obviously this is just the first application and stuff like that, so it'll start to look a lot better once you've got some more washes on there, obviously. But with this black, like you would in a Gundam, I'm just picking out recesses, panels. Ooh, heavy black there. Don't worry, guys. That's this I'm not too happy with. So I can erase it out, let that dry out a little bit. Ooh, looking a bit heavy there. Let me work on this. These little Tamiya swivel things are really really handy. It's a bit too much there, take that out a little bit. Like go in a little bit. I kind of like that dark thick black there. It's very industrial looking. Go in there, the black. Don't be scared, guys, by all means, of going in. That's the good thing about this, is that you know you can thin it out, see, like I'm doing here. Don't forget the insides here, going in quite thick. The problem that I have right now, and I hope this will work, but there you go, beautiful. Let that dry out. Forgot about this side as well. Those bits will need to be blackened off a little bit. Oop. There you go. See how that's just, I have to drag that out a little bit, blend that in. I don't want it. There you go. So we got the black on. I'm gonna let that dry out a little bit, I think. And obviously we've got the inner seats and stuff like that. We go quite heavy with this black inside the cockpit. Douse that in there like that. You've got all the internal parts of the seat, which you won't really see that much of, by the way. because the beautiful bikini girl will be in there. So I'm just using the capillary action to bring out the seat details. I do want this quite worn. So I'm being quite liberal, no fear. And that would be what I would call stage one. Of that. And what you want to do is, guys, is let this dry out. Let it dry out naturally. Some browns in there. Let it dry out naturally and just let the ink do the work. You know what I mean? So just let it do its thing. I need some more black on the hands, because obviously that would be used quite a lot, you know. Again, you're thinking about the weathering, the conditions, the effects of that certain section. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. Just let it dry out, guys, and we'll be back in a bit. Look, man, I get why he does it. I totally get it, but it's like a little bit of overkill. You know what I mean? I get he has to promo his shit, but it can be a little bit over the top sometimes. But like I said, if, in my opinion, AK don't have to go out that far. But anyway, okay, guys, if you're watching me live on Facebook, big up, shotgun out to James, Jing, and all the guys. Now I'm going to be using this Stain Brown, Ian Brown. I want to get some like kind of light rusting effects. So for you guys that are watching me live, I'm sorry about the lighting. Really, I'm sorry about that. But I'm gonna go in with this Stain Brown over the seats first, because that black is taken over a little bit. La 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 la. What do you guys like about the modeling process? Do you what's your favorite part? Do you like construction? Do you like chipping, weathering, decaling? What do you guys like to do on the bills? I think my favorite part is weathering. It's so much fun. I love the build and detail. Yeah, I know, James. Hey, James, man. Did you get that fucking did you get that Messerline finish, bro? I was gonna ask you about that. So I'm adding this Stain Brown as like how to say it, as like a first base for the rust. I don't want to go fucking nuts on this kit with rust, believe it or not. I'm just going in with like effects of like dirt and grime on this one. So I've already mapped out what I want to do, you know, first. But what James has put in the comments, sorry I'm but well, really, I don't get to paint much at the moment. Yeah, I know that feeling, bro. What's up, Lorraine, David, James, Jing in the building? I know Jing, you've been following me quite a while. Finally found out your name. What's up, bro? Yeah, your messing line was coming along real nice, man. Looked really good. I'm actually just picking out little bits of areas where you might get some rust spots. You know what I mean? Need to come down on a downward go down on a downward stroke. Yeah. I tend as well not to get too stuck up in one area at once. I just normally do a little bit of weathering on one side and then move on to another bit, because you can get a little bit bogged down with it and you can overwork stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah, watercolor, bro. You know, you got to treat this, even though it's an actual, like it's actually 3D, right? But at the end of the day, I treat this as like as a canvas, you know, as a bit of paper. My paper is the model. You know, so I'm getting some nice dark browns being put underneath in there, and the recesses and stuff like that, or places where I think there would be rust around the edges. And when you do that, obviously you're gonna aesthetically make the viewer like think, oh wow, that's really neat. There's too much brown there. Ooh, it's running. Happy accidents. That's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna let that bleed down. You see how dramatic that's going on there, man? It's a bit of overkill though there. So I'm just gonna dab it, thin it out a little bit. Oh, see? So you get like that weird rust runs. Happy accidents. Keep saying that. I'm not Bob Rust, by the way. I'm nowhere in his caliber. You know what I mean? Again, just diffusing that. You guys can see that. Just dabbing. Letting the inks do the work. You know what I mean? Know what I mean, bruv? So we've got some browns on the edges where my chipping is. Obviously you're going to get a few bloody rust spots there, mate. So you guys are on the bench. This is fun, man. Finally back on the bench after a long departure. See what I mean? I'm just, you can see that there on camera. Don't bloody throw those spears at me. And I'm gonna just let this, look, see? Just drip down. You let gravity do the shit. Which in theory, this would happen in real life, right? If you think about it. Don't bloody throw those spears at me. So, you can see that all running down. I hope I've got this on bloody camera. Let me check. Yeah, I've got it there. Bloody lovely, mate. Bloody lovely. And as well, I mean, I have mentioned this, but these Tamiya DJ booths are really good. You really do not want to, and I know the guys that are watching will agree with me here, you do not want to touch this when you're doing this at all. It's rather imperative that you don't touch the model during this stage. You don't want any fingerprints on here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, James? So, like I said, guys, if you are weathering, just have fun. Put a few rust marks there, mate. Gone a little bit too far there. Get my cotton. The only reason why I'm using cotton today is because I use it for my vaping wicks. It's a bit bloody grimy, mate. Could do a bit of a valet, you know what I mean, bruv? Yeah, James. Have you been anywhere, man? I kind of, for a few weeks ago, my mate was like, fucking hell, Daz, are you alright? I said, what do you mean? You know, I'm bloody Facebook so much. I said, yeah, fucking I need to get off it. Had a bit of a break. I haven't been doing many live feeds. Just got bored. It's good to escape Facebook from time to time, as you all probably know. You need a break from it. Right, I'm going in with this brown. It's rather grimy, this bloody kit, mate. See, it's a bit heavy there. I can get that out. I'm not too happy with that, but let's just see what happens. Oh, good, thanks. Been trying to get a workroom sorted so I can get some proper stuff done. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. It's good to have a man cave, man. You know. I don't think you knew me when I lived in my last apartment, James. I don't think. I was in a single 1-bedroom bedsit with the wife and little May when she was born, and I couldn't really paint, you know, because I had the little kid there and stuff like that. And the wife would complain about the smells, you know. So it was a bit awkward, you know what I mean? But once I got the cave built, it was just like, oh man, this is mint. And you know what? Since I've been in this room, I haven't knocked any paint over yet. Just because I have so much space to work with. And that's what's... I see a lot of modelers who do shit in their bedrooms. It's like, fuck, man, you've got no space. And I can't work in confined space. And you're always losing shit and looking for stuff. Drives you around the bloody bend, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I am lucky, mate. But it's kind of... When my kids get a bit older, this will be like a bit of like a games room, an art room. The kids can come in here and do their art. They can get messy and fuck about and all the rest of it. So hopefully my kids, if they're interested in this hobby or interested in art and stuff like that, they can just come in here and chill and do some art, you know what I mean? So it's a multi-purpose room, let's put it that way. And it's a game room as well. Kids can play on the PlayStation or whatever. But yeah, it's good. And it's also, I mean, as much as I love my wife, it's a good escape area for me, because living with someone like we used to live in our old apartment, we were always on top of each other, and obviously we lived in a one-bedroom flat. It was hard for my wife to get some bloody peace and quiet from me, because I'm a bit of a bell end sometimes, and she needs her space, you know. She needs her little woman time. So now we've got this house and stuff like that. It's a godsend for her. She can escape me, you know what I mean, and vice versa. I can escape the wife as well. So as you can see with this kit now, I'm just going around and around and around, just seeing what bits I like, what bits I don't like, what bits I can add. Just going to dot that, do a dot wash. Get some fucking streaks in, look at that. Yeah, have it. Rust bucket. It's a rust bucket, man. Ma.k kit. It's a Ma.k kit. It's all about rust. It's all about rust, mate. So we're just going around. You get on much better if you guys have more space. Your house looks pretty big. Yeah, it's big, mate, but compared to a house in England, it'll be small, probably. I'm talking about a house, not an apartment. I think houses in the UK are a bit bigger. I mean, obviously it depends on where you live, but yeah, it's big enough. But I mean, the problem with this house is we don't have a garage, so it's a bit difficult for storage. You know, everything's stored within the house, which can be a bit of a fucking nightmare, bruv. But yeah, I mean, James, if you'd have known me way back and you'd have seen where I used to live and the conditions that I've been living in Japan for the last, what, 10 years? Some of the little pokey places I used to live in. Cockroach infested, mate. Yeah, bro. Cockroaches and all, mate. You'd have gone like, what the fuck does a... What the fuck, mate? take that out a little bit. I want the yellow to be a little bit coming through there. I'm going to let that dry out, guys, and we'll be on with stage 2. Yeah, mate. Okay, guys, welcome back. I've done a lot of work so far on this. Trial and error, really, guys, when you're doing weathering. I get quite detailed in it. It can maybe sometimes look a bit overworked, and it's all trial and error on how you want to manipulate the inks. But this is the stage that I've got to now. You probably won't see it that well because of the light in this room, but since the last little segment that I recorded, I added some of orange filtering. I added some grey as well to highlight out the blacks, and I'm just letting it dry. I didn't want to film me doing the whole thing because sometimes with some sections I'm not happy with, and I just keep playing with it. So till you get it right, you know, stop, and then what I'll be doing next is I'll be adding some matte finish top coat just to lock in those colours, and then once that's all dried, I can either go in with some MIG oil brushes, or I could use some pigments to diffuse it a little bit. So let me top coat this, and I shall be back, and then we'll probably get the oils out and start playing around with some pigments.